best pitcher in the game, one of the best left-handers in the game. I mean, you have to go back to Warren Spahn, who was the left-hander with more wins, I believe with 300 wins, and Sandy Koufax. A lot of people with the Dodgers are comparing him to Sandy Koufax, who was, one of the best left-handers ever. His career was shortened because of arm injury, because of the torque. He had a tremendous curveball, just like Kershaw. This guy struck out 14 last night in Milwaukee. He didn't win the game because of one extra inning. See, baseball is a crazy sport. He struck out in 7 innings. He struck out 14. A 9-year-old kid will tell you that's 2 strikeouts an inning. I mean, that is incredible. I mean, you really, what can you do? Strike out 3 every inning? Nobody does that. So this guy is in another league. I mean, and that's why one of the reasons I think that the Dodgers are the team to beat in the West, because of the quality of this guy. I mean, he prepares himself always. He's always ready. He's a real leader. Very few teams have a pitcher leading the team. That's another point in baseball. You have, for example, the Angels have Mike Trout, great player, although he's injured. When he's playing, he's a great player. The Nationals have Bryce Harper. But how many teams you can say their leader is a pitcher? In the Dodgers' case, that is their leader. When he goes out on the mound, the other guys, the other 8 guys on the field, we're going to win this game. I mean, that is in baseball when you have that level of comfort, I'm not saying you're invincible because nobody is invincible. The Cubs are not winning this year like they were winning last year. We'll talk about them. So nobody is invincible. It's 162 games. But, boy, Clayton Kershaw is one of those guys I would pay to see. I was a fan because anytime he takes the mound, there's a chance he's going to strike out maybe 20, break the record strikeouts, pitch a perfect game, or pitch a no-hitter like he's done before. So he's in a league by himself. Really, all those stats you have mentioned are tremendous stats. I mean, right now, when it's a tremendous shortage of pitching, I was talking last night with Bert Blyleven. He's a Hall of Fame pitcher, pitched for the Minnesota Twins, who are playing in Anaheim now against the Angels, and he told me it seems like every staff had 2, 3, 4 pitchers hurt. And here's this guy who was hurt last year. But when he is healthy, there is nobody close to Koufax, nobody in the game. There was a time where Greinke was pitching with the Dodgers, and with tremendous 1-2. A couple of years ago, it was Kershaw and Greinke. Now Greinke is with the Diamondbacks. But there is nobody like right now like Clayton Kershaw. So kudos to him. And, I mean, it's just something that you admire in awe every time he goes out there to pitch because the stuff he does is incredible. And if you talk to the hitters, they said this guy's in another league. I mean, they think they're going to hit him. They just can't hit the guy.
No, totally. He is in a league of his own, definitely. This is something I haven't seen a pitcher accomplish so much. And I would have to be honest, like I mentioned it before, he's number 1, Hall of Famer Randy Johnson. And I feel like Kershaw exemplifies that. He puts himself out there on the mound and focuses and with determination, and he just gets the job done. And that's just as Randy Johnson, seeing him pitch and how he would pitch, he would just it's just talent. And I really haven't seen anything in the game as that until with Kershaw. So yes, like you mentioned, Hall of Famer. I can't wait to see what he gets to have accomplished with the remaining of the season, and of course, wouldn't be surprised with the season he's had so far and what remains if he's that he would be a Cy Young Award winner. So in a great comparison with Sandy Koufax, that's been said along since I believe like a month ago. They've been kind of like comparing him and comparing some stats and as how far Kershaw is along with his career with Sandy Koufax, and they're very, there are some similarities there. But he is amazing player. He's an all-star of beyond that, and just I'm in awe with what Kershaw does when he's out there.
Yeah,
speaking about, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that all you said is true. Every generation has a pitcher, and you're not the only one that haven't seen. I mean, a lot of people have not seen pitching like this. I haven't seen pitching like this in a long time. I was a little boy when Koufax was pitching, so I was not in the business of reporting or doing play-by-play on the radio, on the TV. But this guy is the pitcher of this generation. You mentioned Randy Johnson. That was another guy. He's in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens for so many years. They're dominant pitchers. That there's something special about them, and there's an aura about them. Every time they take the mound, you expect great things. Now, once in a while, they get ripped too, because baseball is not a perfect science. Sometimes that breaking ball is not breaking, it's hanging, and they're going to hit it. Or his fastball is not working, or he's just doesn't have any control. Sandy Koufax, when he started his career, he was wild. He couldn't throw strikes. But once he found the groove and started throwing strikes, he was unhittable. And that is, in L.A., the Dodger organization, I know some people there, all enough. Well, he retired last year, Vince Scully. He broadcasted for 60 years, Hall of Famer, legendary announcer. He said that he doesn't want to compare, that's what he told us, he doesn't want to compare Koufax to anybody. But the closest thing he's seen to Koufax is Kershaw. This is the guy who did Dodgers for 60 years, since the Dodgers were in Brooklyn, and they moved in 1958 to Los Angeles. So what else can you say? If Vince Scully, who saw and covered Koufax as a rookie, Koufax was a rookie all his career, tells you that Mr. Kershaw is the closest thing the Dodgers have to Sandy Koufax. Nobody can beat that, really. That quote.
No, really. Yeah, exactly. Great point. And Vince Scully says it, what else can you say, right?
Yep.
And then going on with the amazing All-Star, to follow that, I want to go into the All-Star. The All-Star is on just a little bit more than a month away. Of course, HHBM, Hispanic Heritage Baseball Museum, will be at the All-Star Fan Fest with their exhibit throughout the All-Star festivities at the Convention Center. You can find us there, and always, of course, you can always follow us as well on social media to get updates and special events occurring during the All-Star for HHBM. But All-Star balloting has started. We have, of course, those contending teams with their All-Stars and for the balloting as well. And then, of course, you'll have others in between there going to the All-Star game. Who do you see that's in the balloting, somebody that stands out to you, Amaury? Maybe somebody, that doesn't stand out to a lot of fans, but maybe somebody that they should look out for what remains of the season.
Well, I always start with the rookies, because for a rookie to make an All-Star game, the All-Star game is still a popularity contest. I mean, it was a time when the players and the managers voted for the players. Now it's mostly the people, which is fine. I love the people voting. So my point is that guys like Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, Paul Goldschmidt, Clayton Kershaw, of course, Irving Santana was having a terrific season. All those big names people already recognize. Chris Sale, now pitching for Boston, tremendous left-hander. These guys, they're recognizable. There is a guy in New York who is, you might say, a freak. He's 6'9", 280, Aaron Judge. I mean, he's leading the league in home runs. I think he got 18 home runs with the Yankees. And the Yankees have been a franchise that they usually do not rebuild. The Yankees, they always buy players. They go and get players. Now they have a very good thing going with Gary Sanchez, the catcher, having a good year. But this kid, Aaron Judge, he's going to have to be in that All-Star game. And I mentioned he's a rookie, and he's a monster of a player, 6'9", right-handed hitter. He puts the show at Yankee Stadium, I hear, at batting practice. It's just a show. I remember Canseco did that in the 80s in the Coliseum in Oakland, and then he became the first 40-40 guys. McGuire did that, Barry Bonds. He's a special player, and this is one guy that maybe the rest of the country is starting to learn about him. They're going crazy for him in New York because, New York's the biggest radio and television market, the biggest area in the country. But this kid had to be in the All-Star. It's part of why the Yankees are in first place. Nobody expected the Yankees to contend this year. Nobody. I spoke with Barry Bloom last night. Major League Baseball, one of the veteran writers, and nobody expected. So that's a surprise. But I like to mention his name because I think he could be a very good player for many years. He's a big kid, Aaron Judge. I think he's one of those guys that should be there. And there's some other rookies doing pretty well right now. But that is the one guy that stands out, Johanna, that it looks to me that he could have a terrific career because he having fun. He reminds me a little bit of Canseco as a rookie in 1986. Canseco was just having fun going out there like a big kid hitting home runs. He enjoys doing that.
Mm-hmm.
There's some guys don't like to go into the All-Star break, the home run hitting contest. Mike Trout, for example, told me many times, no, I'm not ready to do that yet. And but this kid, Aaron Judge, he loves to put a show for the fans. And Major League Baseball loves those type of players, not to mention he plays in New York. So, that's another story. All of its own. You play in New York, you own the world. Look at Derek Jeter, play there for 20 years. He's trying now to put a group to buy the Miami Marlins. I mean, he's beloved. If you're a great player in New York, you could do anything. You could run for mayor, for governor of the state. They love you there. On the other hand, if you don't play well, they'll let you know too. New Yorkers are very crash. They tell you one way or the other. There's no in between there. But I would say Aaron Judge is the number one guy I'm thinking now because he's becoming all of a sudden one of the new faces of the game. We mentioned Carlos Correa, the shortstop for the Houston Astros, and of course Trout and Harper and the current faces of the game. Bryant, the MVP, Chris Bryant for the Chicago Cubs, another rising star. He's probably going to be. But this is what happened in the All-Star games, that there are guys like Josh. I think he's going to be there. Maybe not a starter, but he will be there. But there are guys like that who people don't even know who they are yet, but they know the other guys we mentioned. And he becomes a popularity contest, and people vote for their favorite players, not necessarily for the player who's having the best year. Now, if you want to be a purist, you should vote the players, right, who are having the best year. I mean, this kid, Jim Segura, the shortstop of the Mariners, he's like 340. Nobody knows him. He's hitting 340. He's leading the league. And Nelson Cruz, these are stars who are established, and they should make it, Robinson Cano. But that is what happens. There are going to be injustices. There was the time, I don't remember the year, but people can research this. There used to be 2 All-Star games. Now it's only 1. I think 1 is enough. I'm not suggesting there should be 2 All-Star games. But my point is that you're going to have people always that deserve to be there that are not there. Because people say, who is him? Well, he's just having a good year. No, he could be a future star. All these guys started one way or the other. I saw Ricky Henderson as a rookie, and nobody thought much of him. And then, look, he played 25 years. He's in the Hall of Fame. He stole over 1,600 bases. So I like to go with the rookies, but right now it's anybody's game. But like you mentioned, it's coming. It's going to be in Miami, warm town. It's going to be crazy there, a lot of Hispanics, and it should be I think it would be a great All-Star game. And one of the guys that could be starting for the American League is pitching tonight in Anaheim for the Dominican Republic, Irvin Santana, who I believe is 7-2, with the best ERA in baseball, 1.45. And he's not getting a lot of publicity because of what I just said before, whether he plays in Minnesota. If he plays in New York, he'll be the best pitcher in the world. But he is pitching for the Twins. So there's a lot of injustices, but some guys you're going to have to see him play. One of those guys is Santana, who is a veteran, who all of a sudden is putting it all together. This year he's becoming a great pitcher. And that's what happened to pitchers. There used to be a saying, some pitchers don't get it until they're 30 years old. You see a lot of guys, 22, 23, that throw 100 miles an hour, but they don't know where the ball's going. They have no control. They're not pitchers. They're just throwers. And but Santana's becoming a pitcher this year and having a terrific season.
No, definitely. I have to agree with you. There are some injustices throughout, each year that you should be voting for the player that has had the best season or year so far. But that doesn't always happen. Of course, favoritism wins over. And those that deserve to be at the All-Star game, get left out. But on another note, yes, Judge, he has been making some noise. I have been paying a little bit attention to him, and he has had a good season. And I would love to see him at the All-Star game. Hopefully he does make it, and his fans, especially in New York, do pull through and can get him there. And one thing, too, when you're a rookie and you get to make the All-Star game, that can set your career on fire and could, push you through and through the future seasons. So if he gets to be there, I hope he can take advantage of that and help him, with the following seasons to come.